Oh, of course.
Hi, I'm Maya from the latest with Maya, and I am so excited to be talking with you both.
Oh,
Thank
it's so
you.
nice of you. Nice to meet you.
Um, so I'm not quite finished with the first season of The Paper, but I love it and I can't wait to finish it. The Office was such an iconic and often quoted show. Were you at all nervous about expanding the Office universe?
Yes. I'll tell you a story. Uh, the original British Office, when I agreed to adapt that for the US, I didn't think that it was ever going to be on the air in the US because All in the Family was another British show that was adapted for the US, and no one's ever seen the original British show that All in the Family was based on. So I just sort of assumed that that was going to be the case. And then they started running the British show, which is a great show, like a month before we premiered, and everybody was watching it and talking about it. And I realized that we would be compared to this other show that people were watching first, and that was a very nightmare-inducing um, experience. I had a lot of nightmares about being in comedy court where somebody was putting me on trial for messing up this beautiful original British show. So, having managed to get through that and get on the other side of that and have people like the American show gave me a little bit of confidence that we would probably be doing the same thing here. So, uh,
Yeah. I mean, I would just, for me, I was probably less worried about it than maybe I should have been, but I'm glad that I was able to totally put it out of my mind while we actually made the show.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so what was the biggest challenge to creating the paper?
well, for me, it was that The Office had 16 series regulars at one point, and we all always wanted them to be interesting, funny, three-dimensional comedy characters. And in order to create a whole new set of people that you still wanted to feel believable and yet not overlap any of their qualities with the Office characters was the biggest challenge because 16 types of people is a lot. And, I don't know how many types people normally consider to be walking around, but, we had to give each of the new characters their own psychology, their own goals in life, their own quirks. And,
And
we,
hopefully make them funny in a way that you didn't feel too familiar.
yeah. And we didn't want anybody to be like, oh, that's just Dwight all over again or something like that. So that was the hardest part is making everybody unique.
And that's inevitable, but I do think that one of the most interesting things that I've heard back from people who've watched this show um, is sometimes that they'll say, I was looking for that. That's what I was focused on when I saw it." And then I watched the episode again, and it was like a new episode. I was so I think that to me is the biggest challenge. Is just knowing that sometimes people will look at this uh, so much in the light of its association with The Office, when I think it's in a lot of ways meant to be looked at as its own story.
Oh, wow. Yeah, do you have a favorite episode?
Um, I might like the first episode because I directed it, which meant that I was on the set the whole time with the actors, which was super fun. But I don't know. Also, the last episode is great. I think I don't know. I'm kind of like all of them, really.
Yeah, I guess in my head, I it's like I love certain scenes so much, and they're all over the place. Um, but I don't want to insult any of our episodes by picking a favorite.
Yeah, it's like we have 10 children.
Oh, yeah. That's yeah, totally
Mhm.
understandable. Um, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Ah, that's a
A
great
great
question.
question. My life story, like my actual life.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe the most
Uh,
boring action adventure movie ever.
or if mildly exciting, sort of like 1970s French little pastiche film where people come home and they quietly nibble their dinner while they talk about the problems with the universe, and then they fall asleep. And I don't think my life story would be a particularly interesting movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Um, so if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
On the show or on our foreheads?
Yes, on your foreheads.
Um, may cause drowsiness.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if I'm going to do better than that. Do you want me to have one too? Uh, stay 6 feet away. He recently had COVID.
Those are good ones.
What is the best you've ever heard for that?
Oh, um, there's been so many, and as soon as you asked me that, my mind just completely
Ah,
went blank.
see
So,
what you do to us?
wait.
Said, see what you did to us with those those cool, funny questions.
Yeah,
Hey, you interviewed Robbie Amell, right?
I did. Yeah,
Did you ask him that? What was his answer?
I did. And I am so sorry, but right now I'm just completely blanking on everything. Like, I feel like I've been so excited to talk with you guys, and I'm like very starstruck by you, so my mind is just completely blank of any answers.
I love your wall. I like the
Yeah, the wall's great.
background is great.
Thank you so much.
Lovely.
Um,
So
so
what episode are you up to?
I just finished watching the second episode, and I'm gonna watch more today.
Oh, great. Yeah, well, I think a lot of people feel that it gets better in the second half.
Mm,
I think it's great as from the get-go, but I think with a character comedy, which is the genre that we're in, you have to really learn the characters to get all of the jokes. And you can't, each character has maybe 5 or 6 traits, and you can't just barf them all up on the first episode. That they have to be experienced in a few episodes before the full, picture of the person comes into focus. So
yeah.
I think you'll enjoy the second half of the season.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited to finish it. I watched the second episode right before um I went to bed last night, and so I woke up laughing
Oh
about
my
it.
gosh, what a nice thing to say.
So, yeah, I've been thinking about it all morning and just laughing. So, I'm very excited to finish
Oh, thanks, Maya.
this season. So, I just have one final question for you. Were there any episodes that were particularly challenging to film?
Well, now this is well. I guess it's okay to talk about. I would just say the 10th episode is location based, and there's just in terms of just the production of something, you have you have to get everything that you're going to get while you're in this location. So that I think kind of puts a little extra pressure on everything and makes it tough.
The episode you just saw last night, the scenes in the restaurant where they go for lunch,
Yeah.
that was maybe tricky because that was not a real restaurant. That was something on the lot. And um, Ned actually leaves the restaurant, but the camera goes back to see what's happening at the table, which is good because there wasn't really anything outside the door. It was the New York street on the lot. Like, so that was I don't know if it helps anybody's enjoyment of it to hear these behind the scenes stories, but I thought I was worried about that because I realized that we didn't get to go to a real restaurant and we were relying on our production designer and our director, Susie Mancini and Ken Quapis, to kind of make this little nook in a fake building feel like a restaurant. And they did a great job. I think nobody would notice that it wasn't a real restaurant, but I was worried about that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's always so interesting to hear all the behind the scenes stuff.
I'll tell
Well,
you
you
the
know,
most difficult thing that happened. We had this whole scene with a bird getting loose in the office in the newsroom, and it was a very complicated thing to shoot with a live bird, and you had and and the main character was trying to capture it while he was going around and talking to everybody and meeting them. And after we filmed that, and a couple weeks later, somebody came and showed us that the Australian version of The Office had just released their first trailer, and it was somebody running around the office trying to capture a bird. And it was unbelievable that this overlap happened. So we had to rethink that and come up with another scene. But that I think was at the time it felt like the biggest the hardest thing to deal with.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's so interesting. Um, well, that was my
Was I right, not right when I about the drowsiness?
No,
Let's
it
listen to
was
a
really,
story.
I was really interested to hear that. It was really
Okay,
interesting.
yeah.
So I don't agree with that warning label. So, um, well, that was my final question for you.
Well,
Um,
what a pleasure to talk to you, Maya. Thank you.
You too. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and answer my questions. I've loved talking with you both, and I'm very starstruck by you. So thank you.
Oh, it's
Well,
so nice to meet you, Maya. Thank you very much.
I think those were the most creative and fun questions we've gotten so far in promoting.
Absolutely.
We've talked to 1,000 people, so thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much. That means so much to hear.
Well,
So
be well. Thank
thank you.
you.
You too. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. We can talk again.
Thank you. Yeah.